everybody, welcome back to Bent to Me Monday. I'm your host Paul Turner, and today I want to talk about leaving the church the right way. Because there are so many factors. If you look at my video here, and you'll see a link up above there where I talk about help, I'm fired. But I think there's also a part of being when you're let go or something like that. You know, I think it's just professional courtesy. There's some professional courtesies that we need to maintain as youth pastors, okay? Number one, I try to wipe off the computer of all my junk. Okay, that's number one. I just wipe that because it's not necessary. You know, there's no sense in him or her who takes my position. They don't need to see all my old junk. They don't need to see all my old videos. They don't need to see all that. So I try to give the guy coming in a fresh perspective, okay? The second thing I do is I clean my office, right? I've always learned the principle to leave things better than what you found it. And so that's just a principle. I wind up cleaning the office. I don't steal a bunch of office supplies, okay? I do decide when things that are, you know, that were mine that I bought and what the church bought, okay? And that make sure that those things get separated out. If it belongs to the church, I don't walk out with dodgeballs in my hands and, you know, things like that. Like, I'm going to show you guys, and you know, that's just silly. I don't want to do that. You know, but I make sure I clean my office. I make sure I divide up whatever needs to be divided up. I make sure I clean off the computer. I also make sure that I tell students whether it's because, you know, maybe because, you know, and if you haven't watched the video yet, it says Help, I'm Fired. There's a link up there that you can check out that video there. You know, even in those cases where I am let go for some reason, I make sure that I tell students that you need to give the next guy a shot. You need to give whoever that next guy is, you've got to give him a shot. Now, let me just preface this by saying that. Well, I just can't preface it because I've already said it, but you know what I mean. I do raise a high bar. There's no sense in, you know, if you're going to do youth ministry, I don't want to, you know, I want to go in and do my very best, and I can't worry about what's next. I can't worry about saying, well, am I just creating such an epic thing, or am I just, that the guy's not going to be able to follow me? That's not my fault. I'm going to do the very best job that I can do to make sure that God is glorified, that people come to know the Lord, and, you know, if I raise the bar, I raise the bar. Now, whoever comes in after me, I can't help that. You know, I can't help where they're at. They're, you know, it's not my job to create small shoes for them to fill. My role is to create big vision and big shoes for them to fill so they can come in there. Now, they're going to bring their own stuff. They're going to do their own thing, but the kids will be there. And you know, if I'm at a church long enough, or if I've, you know, really had some deep memories with kids, and they're just there, you know, I'm not going to shy away from that. You know, I'm not going to shy away from those things. And so when I talk to kids, I make sure that I tell them that you need to give that other guy a shot. You need to make sure that whoever's coming in, you listen to them. They may have a greater vision. They may take the youth ministry in a different format. They may try some new things, and I encourage the kids to do that. Now, in order for that youth pastor to function and do what he's got to do, I cannot be there. I have to be able to leave the premises, and that means I don't call them. I don't hang out with them. Now listen, if they want to send me a message on Facebook, things like that, that's fine. But my role is not to complicate the job of the next guy. Why? Well, because it's simple professional courtesy. That's all I can tell you. And guys that do stuff like that, like I had read about, that, you know, that was making this young lady's job harder on her because they would, you know, the youth group was fractioned off somehow, and he was keeping kind of his portion that he liked and kept those things. You know, I'll be honest with you, that has a lot to do with ego or insecurity and stuff like that. And I think you have to be able to, as a youth pastor, be able to put that stuff away. That if you're going to leave a church, just leave it, man. Just walk away and say, hey, good job, kids. We had a great time. We had a great run together. Let's move it forward. I'm going to move forward, and you're going to move forward, and then we're going to have an epic time together. So anyway, those are my thoughts. I kind of was on my heart there because I think that's so important that we understand that as youth pastors, that those aren't our kids. Those are God's kids. You know, and even though we're connected as human beings, that doesn't mean they're my kids and I have any right to get in the way of whatever God's going to do next. In fact, my involvement with them could stunt their growth and stunt where they're going to be, and make all the, you know, all the you know, make it egocentric for me and make it where their focus is on me instead of what the Lord's doing next in their youth ministry. So I take that stuff really personal. I take that stuff you know, serious on my part, that I don't want to get in the way of what God may do next. So anyway, you may know somebody that needs this video, so feel free to share it with them if you'd like. But if you have a comment, what do you think? Maybe has somebody made your job harder because they refuse to kind of disconnect from the kids? That they stick around a little too long? Did they show up and unannounced, or did they visit the church and all the kids run over and say hello and kind of make you feel like, what am I supposed to do kind of thing? I don't know. You tell me. I'd love to hear your stories and how you're dealing with those things. And tell me some of the professional courtesies that you think are important for youth pastors, that when they're leaving a church, this is important to you. So anyway, thanks for joining me today for Mentoring Monday. I will see you guys next time on the Tuesday Panic. You guys have a great one.